Do you know, women, what's at the root of our hormonal despair? Do you know? There's supposed to be one wisecrack in the audience that says, men! Right? You look at it. Menstruation, menopause, mental depression. Okay, so what I want to show you, and I'm hoping everybody can see it, is I'm going to take you through what should be happening in your menstrual cycle. Now, if you don't have one anymore, you still need to know this, because the real root, besides men, of your hormonal problems is that you have too much estrogen, or had, and not enough progesterone. Let me explain that to you. If you have, here's the line where you have your period. At your period, you have two hormones that are low. What are our main two female hormones? Estrogen and progesterone. Okay, so I've got an E for estrogen, P for progesterone. Right after your period, your estrogen levels rise quite dramatically. And there's the line down the middle of the page indicating when you ovulate. Up until that point, your progesterone stays very low. After, and not until you ovulate, does your progesterone levels rise. And then your progesterone should actually dominate the second half of your period, and your estrogen should be just kind of below it. I know you scientific folks will just be cringing in your seats. But that's, for us lay women who just do the easy thing, yeah, this explains it. Okay. So now, this is what should happen, but it's not what's happening. If it was, you wouldn't all be interested in what I have to say. So, what's actually happening, estrogen, where are you? Estrogen, you're the blue. You're way up here, and your progesterone is way down there. So you've got this huge differential. And it's this dominance of estrogen. It doesn't matter if progesterone's not high, because if progesterone's low, what's going to dominate? Estrogen. If estrogen's high, then that means your progesterone is low. So it means the same thing, right? So we have this phrase that was coined by Dr. John Lee called estrogen dominance. And that is what's affecting every single woman in the room, no matter what life stage you were in. The first thing that estrogen does to you is it builds your lining, which makes your period. Oh, so fun. Okay, but if you have too much estrogen, what do you think is going to happen then? You're going to get a heavy period. And if you build too much lining, it could lead to things like endometriosis or fibroids, okay? The second thing that happens with estrogen dominance is that it results in breast stimulation. And it's not the fun kind. These ladies know what I'm talking about. The rest of you have forgotten, all right? Okay. So it would make fibrocystic breasts, sore and swollen breasts. The third thing that estrogen dominance will do is increases body fat. Isn't that nice? So the more body fat you have, the more estrogen you produce. The more estrogen you produce, the more body fat you put on. We are hooped. But by the time this seminar is over this morning, you will have some strategies to start melting off the fat, okay? And the fifth thing that estrogen dominance does is reduces oxygen levels in all your cells, which results in fatigue. Now, there are a ton more things that estrogen dominance does. I just wanted to give you a brief list of it so you get the idea. I didn't mention the headaches, did I? I popped right over that. Estrogen dominance can contribute to depression and headaches. Actually, 60% of all headaches and migraines suffered by most women is due to estrogen dominance. All right? Now, I have a list of another 13 things that estrogen dominance does in my CD set called Eliminate Your Hormonal Symptoms. Those are the key ones that I seem to see happen over and over and over again. So if you know anybody with heavy periods or uterine fibroids or endometriosis or fibrocystic breasts, sore or swollen breasts, unjustified weight gain, headaches or migraines, fatigue, depression, did I leave anybody out? Then you know what you have to do. You don't know how you're going to do it yet, but you have to do what? What is the end result that you need to do? Lower the estrogen or bring up the progesterone. Perfect. Now what about you menopausal ladies? I didn't really describe you in that, did I? So here's what happens. In perimenopause, that time before you stop having periods, you are the most estrogen dominant you will ever be in your entire life. Because in that time frame, and I want you to hear this because no one is going to explain this to you, okay? You're not going to be ovulating every month. And what did I say? When you ovulate, it does what? It produces progesterone. If you don't ovulate, you don't produce. If you don't produce progesterone, what hormone? Estrogen. Okay, you got that? Now, if your estrogen is dominant, what's going to be happening to you in that perimenopausal time? You could be bleeding to death. You could be depressed. You could have headaches. Do you get this now? The last thing you need is to go and get a prescription of estrogen. You've got too much. And then when you go into menopause, your body was used to this level up here, and then all of a sudden, crash. You're still producing it, but it's way down here. So your body's going, where's the estrogen? Where's the estrogen? And it's looking for it. It's, I'm over here! Sorry, I can't hear you. So you have estrogen, but there's been such a great crash that your body acts like there's none there. So it's that crash that your body has to adapt to and isn't able to. And if you didn't make that big crash, you wouldn't have. That's one of the key reasons you get those menopausal symptoms. It's not all of it. We can't cover everything today, okay? But that's one key reason. Does this make sense? So you ladies that are still menstruating or in perimenopause, you need to take action fast, okay? Because once you're in menopause, then that part's too late. You've already crashed. So what we have to do is help you adapt to that crash, okay? Make sense? Are you following me? Good.